He says make friends with rich people because their capacity to give is necessarily more by virtue of having more resources. If you're a philanthropist or you're someone that wants to make a difference, not only in your locale in terms of where you work or in your community, community involvement would be my greatest suggestion to you. If you're part of a church, see what they're working on. Volunteer every now and then. If you're part of a organization that actually likes community outreach, perhaps try to augment the work that you do so that you can go and participate in that community outreach. A lot of the things that I've learned recently have told me that it's so important to go and meet people. We have to go meet people. If we do not meet the people, we're never going to have new ideas, and we're never going to have the ability to have cool ideas really around us. Mastermind groups, mentors, friends, especially if you're trying to grow as a human being and you need new, cooler friends, networking is massive. It's a phenomenal way to network while actually doing something tangibly good for people that you might never even know or might never even get to meet. Part of the reason that I started doing a lot of the stuff that I've been doing recently is because I want to make sure that if I die tomorrow, that I spent at least 50% of my life giving back to people, like through genuine charity. One of the main reasons I want to do that is because it makes me feel satisfied, it makes me feel responsible, and it makes me feel like all of the great things that I got in my life, that I am at least trying to give some great things back to people. And I think as leaders in general, when we don't do that, we don't take on the abundance mentality that's required to actually have the universe work alongside with us instead of just trying to fight everything all the time. So I'll give you an example. I'm a dentist here in Ohio, and there's some dental associations like Cincinnati, Dayton, Columbus, Ohio Dental Association that have dentists in them. Now, I haven't really liked dentists for most of my life. I'm kind of a weird guy. So dentistry in particular tends to be a specialist trade, and then you can go and become an endodontist and specialize even further. And most of them are pretty damn boring, in my opinion. I mean, they like go out to shows, maybe they have like one or two different hobbies, but they're not out building businesses or like having personal brands and all this stuff put together. Now, maybe that's judgy. Yeah, probably judgy. If you're a cool dentist, I'd love to meet. Or if you know a cool dentist, I'd love to meet them. But I never let that hold me back from going and trying to find cool dentists. Because I know that capital, which is money, is a hard thing to come by in society. The vast majority of people are not really making more than $100,000 a year. Dentists are those people. Good to know people like that. On top of that, I know from my reading of, was it Rumi's texts? The bulb says probably Rumi's text. So in Rumi's texts, Rumi's a poet guy, Persian poet, really cool. Would suggest checking him out. He says make friends with rich people because their capacity to give is necessarily more by virtue of having more resources. And basically anyone that ever talks about money will tell you solve rich people's problems and you'll make money. Now, you might be thinking, well, you just go out there to network to hang out with people that have money. Yeah. Why would you not want to hang out with people that have money? Because then they could actually buy you dinner and not feel like you're chopping their foot off, or they could actually take a trip with you somewhere and enjoy themselves genuinely without you feeling like they're a tremendous burden on you. Or if you're starting a company, or if you have something that needs to be invested in, a real estate property, whatever, wealthier people are going to have more things available to them. So that's one of the reasons I like networking with dentists. That's one of the reasons that I joined the Cincinnati Dental Association, the Dayton Dental Association, the Columbus Dental Association, the Ohio Dental Association, the American Dental Association, because all five of those are really great opportunities to get involved with my community. I also am becoming a mentor through their ranks, their foundations and stuff. The other thing is when it comes to the involvement with the community, having shown up to these places and actually met the leaders and introduced them and gotten their phone numbers and actually text them and wanted to do podcasts with them, I now have the ability to make a larger difference in the lives of my interns, for instance. My dental interns are looking for mentors, and they're looking for ways to perhaps get fame and money and live the life that they want. And me having access to those people and those people actually trusting me means that I can potentially be like, hey, I know these group of amazing people that have been working really hard that I believe are going to be incredible dentists. Can you give them some advice? Can you give them a job? Can you spend time with them? Can they ask you questions? Can they do something for you? Can they be your interns? Whatever it is, I can bridge those gaps in the world. And that's kind of what community involvement is for me, is the more I'm involved in my community, the more people I know that are doing different things at high levels, the more helpful I can be to any individual person that comes and asks for help from me. So that's one thing. The Ohio Dental Association, really interesting. American Dental Association, I traveled all the way to DC from Ohio, which I believe is like an hour and a half flight, which is pretty dope, like an hour flight. And I met Dr. Kessler, who is currently the American Dental Association president. And dude, I ran like in Washington with this guy and a couple of other people that wanted to wake up at 7:15 in the morning on the day of the conference. And really cool guy, like really cool guy. He has a story that he was like a drug addict and all of his friends were like dying and stuff. And then he like went into dentistry and did all this stuff. And now he's the American Dental Association president. I mean, let me give you another great reason for making friends with wealthy people. A lot of them come from stories that most people don't make their way out of, and it's inspiring. It's really cool to see. So through that, I went and I engaged with a bunch of other dentists, top 10 or under 10, which is, I guess, 10 years of practicing dentistry and the things that they've accomplished. All of those people are still my contacts. I can utilize them for podcasts. I can utilize them for research projects for my nonprofit. I can utilize them for being friends. They can utilize me for any reasons if they're looking to scale their practices or get talent or come up with strategies in general, operations, whatever it is, artwork, I don't know, anything, PR, media. And it's my way of getting involved in my dental community as someone that doesn't genuinely like dentists most of the time, as my responsibility to make sure that I am trying to go with the flow of life, to enjoy things while also creating opportunities for myself. I talk about me leadership versus we leadership. I got to have that opportunities for myself before I can create them for other people. And it's a beautiful thing to do. I go to the Chamber of Commerce meetings locally. Those are important. I want to organize Chamber of Commerce meetings. Local business owners, again, wealthy people that are pretty cool, useful to have in my pocket, useful to be in their pocket. PR, publicity. I have a PR company that I hired. Most people my age that are making the money that I make, they would not be thinking about that, I assume. I assume they'd be doing a lot of fun stuff instead. But maybe not, I don't know. Super important because, again, PR, public relations, articles, YouTube, whatever it is like a historian, right? So you have your media content going out like local militia, making sure to protect your little city. But then your city has a library. The library is your PR and the videos on YouTube and the plaques that you have in some random museum or a bench that you made in a local park or something. Right? I always try to think about what can I do to live longer, live more years? What can my soul do to transcend time? And there's nothing quite like transcending time. There's nothing quite like community involvement in terms of transcending time, because people are not going to remember what you did for them. They're going to remember how you made them feel. Actualize your potential catalyst. This world needs you. Peace.